Nagsasagawa po ng press conference si Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre II. Panoorin po natin.
Of an NBI task force to investigate rent tangay, rent sangla modus operandi. Nobody should be allowed to profit from taking advantage of the trust of others. We will not tolerate a scam of this magnitude. It is totally unacceptable. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon again. Today, I've ordered the National Bureau of Investigation under Director Dante Giran to investigate and spearhead the filing of cases against the parties responsible for victimizing a good number of our countrymen in the car rental scam. Earlier, I met with the representatives of the victims, and upon seeing the magnitude of this scam, the rent tangay, rent sangla, as it involved around 500 victims, more or less, I immediately ordered the NBI to take action. I've given the NBI 15 days to submit a status report on this case. Further, I've also signed an Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order, ILBO, against one of the accused, Chichus Estorillo Nambio. The ILBO was made upon the request of the city prosecutor of Binyan City because there is information that Mr. Nambio might fly out of the country anytime, carrying with him a large sum of money, purportedly the fruits of this scam. Nobody should be allowed to profit from scamming others. We simply cannot tolerate. Thank you. So here's the memorandum from the representation to Commissioner Jaime Morante in connection with the issued ILBO, and another memorandum to the Director of the NBI, Director Dante Giran, authority to conduct investigation and case build-up regarding the rent tangay modus operandi. We have the picture here of the principal respondent, Mr. Chichus Estorillo Nambio. With respect to the other accomplices or the other companions in this connection, we have the pictures. One of them was caught, but eventually he was released in Bulacan because there's yet no case filed against her. So I urge everybody, those who might be victimized, might have been victimized by this scam, rent tangay, rent sangla, of several, and victimized several car owners. We will be asking one of the victims to more or less explain to you the modus operandi on how this scam was operated.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Kevin Serrano, and I represent my co-owners of their cars who were, let's say, victims as well na nakuha yung mga sasakyan namin dahil sinanla netong Taichi Kusnambyo. So, ganito kasi nagsisimula yan eh. Una, kukontakin kami ni Taichi Kusnambyo na mag-o-offer sila na we can have our cars rented. They will pay us 30 to 35,000 for sedans, 40 to 45,000 pag SUV. Ang mangyayari nun, per month, binabayaran kami. So, kami, parang, let's say, hindi kami nagpapanik kasi nakukuha namin yung bayad. The moment na nalaman namin na this was a scam was the time na nakita namin sa news na na-arrest na pala si Mr. Taichi Kusnambyo for this kind of crime, which was natakot kami kasi ang alam namin yung mga sasakyan namin nire-rent lang ng isang company, tapos after the 3 months we can get our cars back. Now what happened is ine-extend yung length ng contract para kami naman mapapaw kasi nakukuha namin yung bayad eh. After that, meron kaming isang kasamahan na he wanted out of the contract already. He wanted to get his car back, but apparently hindi nakuha yung sasakyan. So that was the time na nahuli na si Taichi Kusnambyo na yung mga sasakyan nga is connected dun sa isa pang suspect na nagsasangla ng sasakyan. Yun na ba?
Who could speak for those the vehicles they became mortgagee of this vehicles that were taken away from the others? Meron bang representative na maaaring pagdetalye kung ano naman ang ginawa sa kanila?
Hello, magandang hapon po sa inyo. Yung sa case ko po, yung assume balance. Yung person na sinabi ni Sec, si Taichus Nambyo, nag-offer din sila ng assume balance kasi yun sa mga car. Yung offer nila, mag-continue payment sa monthly. Tapos may initial payment sila na worth 75,000 for Toyota Vios. As of now, yun nalaman namin na nahuli na siya. Medyo nag-alarma na lang kami. Kaya yun, dumulog na rin kami sa grupo sa kay SEC for this action po.
So I urge everybody who were victimized by this scam to file immediately their complaints para ma-issue natin ng Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order yung mga tao na aside from Taichichus Nambyo. Para kasi may possibility din sila na makatakas, gawa ng pwede silang escape abroad. Kaya nananawagan din ako sa mga nanonood na kung kayo naging biktima nito, pumunta lamang po kayo dito sa NBI at magsabi ng maisa-isay ninyo yung nangyari sa inyong panloloko. Yung pong meron po tayo na isinorender o nakuha ng NBI ng mga more or less 200 vehicles. Sa Tagaytay, Cavite. So baka nandun yung inyong kotse. At ang alam ko rin ng CHPG, Kanlubang ay meron din pong mga sasakyan doon, mga 300. So more or less talagang mahigit ng 500 tao itong nabiktima dito. So para mag-umpisa na pong gumulong ang inyong mga sumbong or complaints, ay tinatawagan po namin kayo na sana ay makipag-ugnayan kayo sa ating NBI o sa mga kapulisan upang magawan na ng kaukulang demanda o sumbong itong mga taong mga involved dito. Kung kayo po ay mayroong katanungan dito sa ating mga biktima, ay pwede na po kayong to shoot the question.
Hi, sir. Sir, how long na sir yung operation na kinakonduct po nitong si Mr. Taichicus Nambio? Is it for a year na ba siya na nag-ooperate itong ganitong modus?
From what I've heard, since 2014, but yung car ko po kasi wala pang 9 months. Isa lang yung nakapasok sa akin. Usually, ang nangyayari kasi, we'll meet in his place, papakita niya sa amin yung mga cars na nire-rent niya na, nung time na yon. May mga checks na siyang papakita, DTI, almost all ng safety precautions na kailangan namin i-check. Papakita niya naman eh. Kaso, ang problema, yung bibigay niya sa amin kaagad yung advance payment na kasi nung rent for that month. After nun, the next month, let's say madedelay siya ng 1 day kasi wala daw insufficient funds daw yung bangko. Kaya we need to call him para bigyan kami ng update kung mababayaran kami. Tapos magbibigay naman siya. Kaya kami, naging palagay na rin kami kasi nababayaran kami. Kaya kung hindi pumutok to sa media, hindi namin malalaman na sanla na pala yung mga sasakyan namin.
Yes, Attorney Ariel Linton, the counsel for the victims. In addition, yung suspect enters into a contract with the victims. We have here a sample contract, vehicle rental contract. Ito yung sample ng pinipirmahan nila. Ito yung pirmahan. Ito yung victim, tapos yung suspect si Taichicus. So, ito yung vehicle rental contract na pinipirmahan nila so that it would appear na parang legal yung ginagawa nila na nagre-renta ng sasakyan. No? Now, with this, ito yung pinaghahawakan ng mga biktima. Ang nangyayari ngayon, lalo pang naging yung loob nila na may kontrata naman kami, wala naman siguro mangyayari dyan, kumikita kami. And then it turned out na yung palang mga vehicle nila, itin-turn over dito sa babaeng kasama. Secretary, may we please borrow the picture of the Anyway, ito naman lumabas na din sa media naman to, no? Kaya lang So si Rafaela Anunciacion, siya ang naghahanap ngayon ng pagsasanlaan. So yung sasakyan na galing sa biktima, pinaupahan ko dun sa kay Taichicus, at si Taichicus ito-turn over yung sasakyan dito, at ito ang naghahanap ng mabibiktima na masasanlaan. Usually, ang diga dito, pag paano nasasanlaan to? Wala yung ORCR, wala mga dokumento, proof of ownership, magagaling nadidiga na, talo sa casino to, kailangan ng cash, ganyan, bago yung sasakyan. Yun naman mga napapagsanlaan, sige, more, 400,000, 300,000, bago yung sasakyan, yun, nakukuha nila. So, you would see, Mr. Secretary, there are two kinds of victims. The victims, yung mga car owners, di ba? And the other set of victims are those na pinagsanlaan, no? Na mga kung saan yung mga sasakyan ay nasa sa kanila, but eventually they surrender yata sa NBI and to HPG, yung pumutok na tong scam na to. So, yun po yun na ang ginawa nito, kaya nakaka-engganyo sila ng mga willing victim because they have a contract, they have an office, no? And at first, payment has been made, rental payment, kaya akala ng mga biktima, okay lang. You want an example of the contract?
Attorney Hinton, paano nila nakilala yung prime sus...
Ito, sige.
Paano ganyan kayo karami?
Actually, word of mouth. Sasabihin niya kasi sa amin ni Mr. Taichi Cruz na if you want to earn more money, you can also invite your friends o mga other car owners na you can also invest na dito sa company nila na iparent yung sasakyan para kumita din sila. Tapos yun, lumaki na lang siya ng lumaki. Kasi yung iba po kumuha ng sasakyan para, kasi yung iba, yung monthly amortization, doon na rin kinukuha nila sa sa bayad eh. Tapos may tubo ka pa.
I mean, nung nag-umpisa, yun yung parang seminar, o gumamit ng social media or what?
Yeah, social media, tapos may advertisement doon. Tapos kami, ganun na rin yung gagawin namin. So word of mouth lang talaga siya. Kasi for each vehicle na mapasok mo, you will be getting 5,000 na parang commission na
Ay, Secretary, with all due respect lang po, Secretary, yung much awaited, sir, not part of the press con.
Okay,
Can we get,
Kung wala na kayong tatanong,
may tatanong ka pa, Ate Dian, sige pa.
any further question respecting to rental scam?
Secretary, regarding po dun sa mga complaints, kasi sa dami ng complaints sa iba-ibang lugar, from Bulacan to Cavite, do you suggest na parang i-consolidate na lahat? Kasi parang carnapping, pa isa-isa yung mga reklamo. Consolidate na lang to a large-scale estafa complaint or yung parang mabigat na kaso na lang?
Pwede po yun. Actually, yung pong kaya nasa detention nata itong si Taichi Cruz Nambio ay parang nag-file ay isang syndicated estafa. Tatlo sila from the same place, parang on the same date. Kaya sabi ng abogado nila, it will file a syndicated estafa. So, siguro ganun din ang maaaring gawin ng iba, but of course, alam naman natin ng ating penal laws ay sumusunod po sa venue. Kaya kung magkakaroon ng consolidated complaint, halimbawa yung mga taga Bulacan, doon sa Bulacan lang. Talagay ko, hindi maaaring pagsamahin yung nabiktima dito sa Manila o sa Cavite para i-file sa Bulacan. Kaya tama yung suggestion mo na talagang para hindi naman masyado marami at tumas pa ang ipa-file nating kaso, kung talagang tama ang large-scale estafa, yun po ang i-file natin. At ang importante, mag-file agad kayo para katulad nung isa dito, nahuli na raw sa Bulacan, pinakawalan sapagkat wala pang file. Hindi. Ang carnapping is carnapping. Ay, yung estafa ay yung panluloko. Inagaw yung kinuha yung carnapping, kinukuha yung kotse mo, cars mo nang wala kang pahintulot o wala kang hindi mo alam. Itong ganitong estafa ay willingly sinurrender mo ang iyong sakyan. Kaya lang, lokohan pala.
Do you have any more questions on this topic? Okay, you can now ask questions on the other topic.
I just would like to state a very short statement that the long wait is over. The bashing of his OJ, I think, should also be over in view of the filing of the case against Secretary Laila de Lima. Three separate complaint informations against the Secretary, now Senator Laila de Lima, filed before the Regional Trial Court of Muntinlupa.
Sir, pakiclarify na, sir, why did we file the cases, sir, before the RTC and not the Ombudsman, sir?
As I've stated before, yung pong mga different complaints filed against Secretary de Lima, marami po yun eh. The preliminary investigation, whether it's cognizable, if the case is cognizable by the Sandigan Bayan, then said complaint may be filed for preliminary investigation concurrently before the DOJ or before the Ombudsman. So when you file it before the Ombudsman, as in these cases, 4 cases, the first one is filed by the ACC, the second by former Director Lasala and Esmeralda. The third one was filed by J.B. Sebastian, and the fourth by the NBI. So, since there are so many cases filed against the lady senator, then before the DOJ, since the jurisdiction is concurrent, even if the offense complained of is under the jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, then the DOJ has the power and the authority to conduct the preliminary investigation. However, if it's found out among the many complaints against Senator de Lima that the offense is cognizable exclusively by the Sandigan Bayan, then the findings or the documents will be forwarded to the Ombudsman, as the Ombudsman has the primary authority on these cases cognizable by the Sandigan Bayan. As a matter of fact, even during the preliminary investigation, because the Ombudsman has the primary jurisdiction, the Ombudsman could have taken over the conduct of preliminary investigation and demand these cases be forwarded to the Ombudsman. But the Ombudsman did not do it and let the DOJ panel of prosecutors investigate preliminarily until it's terminated and until it's filed today before the Regional Trial Court of Muntinlupa. But in these cases filed before the Regional Trial Court of Muntinlupa, these are not cognizable by the Sandigan Bayan, and this is the reason why this is filed before the civil courts or before the Regional Trial Courts under the Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, Section 5, in relation to Section 3JJ, Section 26B, Section 28 of Republic Act 9165. Illegal trading, consisting of illegal trading. These offenses belong to the exclusive original jurisdiction of the Regional Trial Court. Wala pong jurisdiction dito ang Sandigan Bayan, kaya't it is but proper, right and proper, that it be filed before the Regional Trial Court.
Sir Johnson
Sir,
po. Ay. Sir, tanong ko lang ho, is this available case? Tsaka naraffle na ho kaya yung kaso sa Muntinlupa RTC?
Ang balita ko po ay hindi pa na-raffle sapagkat ang raffle day nila is Monday.
Available?
So, ang pagkaalam ko po at this kind of offenses are not bailable because the penalty, if you are found guilty, is reclusion perpetua.
Sir, can you just cite to us, sir, the basis, sir, as to why Senator De Lima was indicted, and also who are the other respondent that has been charged before the Muntinlupa RTC? And if ever, sir, among the list of the original respondent filed before the DOJ, lahat po ba, sir, sila kasama sa mga nakasuhan? And what has been the basis for the findings of probable cause, sir?
Well, some of the cases were dismissed. And ito na lang ang babasahin ko, yung dispositive portion. As a matter of fact, the Kerwin Espinosa case was dismissed. The fifth one. Therefore, it is respectfully recommended that the joint resolution, this one, be approved. 2. The attached information for violation of Section 5 in relation to Section 3JJ, Section 26B, Section 28 of Republic Act 9165 be approved and filed before the appropriate regional trial court. The complaint and NPS, etc. 00313, insofar as Francisco F. Baran III is concerned, be dismissed for insufficiency of evidence. The complaint and NPS 16, etc. 00331 for violation of Republic Act 9745 be dismissed for lack of merit. The complaint in NPS 16, etc. 00336 for violation of Republic Act number 9165 insofar as Herbert Colanco, Engelbert Acenas, Durano, Vicente C., Jojo Baligad Ibundal, and Wu Tuan Yuan, also known as Peter Ko, are concerned, be dismissed since they will be utilized as prosecution witnesses.
Sir,
The complaint in NPS 16, etc. 00331 and NPS 16, 00336 for violations of Republic Act 3019, Republic Act 6713, Presidential Decree number 46, and Articles 210 and 211-A of the revised penal code be endorsed to the Office of the Ombudsman for its appropriate action. Ito po yung sinasabi ko na pag ang offense were done by the respondent in relation to the office, for example, itong mga anti-graft na ito, itong violations of Republic Act, Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices yan. Republic Act number 3019, Presidential Decree number 46. Ito po ay committed by the supposed respondent in relation to her being or his being an officer of the government. The complaint for in NPS 16-00384 be dismissed for lack of merit. The Secretary of Justice directs the National Bureau of Investigation and all the Bureau of Corrections to investigate the extortion activities of Danilo Rico Martinez, a religious volunteer organization pastor inside NBP, as alleged by inmate Froilan Poy Lacson Trestiza. The Secretary of Justice directs the National Bureau of Investigation and all requests the Philippine National Police to investigate the alleged kidnapping of the niece of Wu Tuan Yuan, also known as Peter Ko, Sally, together with her husband and their companions by elements of the PNP, NCRPO raid, and Jose Adrian Dera, or Judd Dera, also known as Judd, sometime in March 2016. The Secretary of Justice directs the National Bureau of Investigation to investigate the illegal drug activities and related offenses committed by Roland Espinosa, also known as Kerwin, on the basis of his extrajudicial confession. So, dun po kay Kerwin, wala pong na-file doon, and it will be further investigated by the National Bureau of Investigation. So, makikita po ninyo dito sa ginawang resolution ng NBI, ay ito po ay talagang pinag-aralan. At yung pong mga nainip na bash sa social media, siguro po yung natapos na at maunawaan ninyo na hindi po ito ganun kasimple. Kasi pinag-aralan po natin to sapagkat napakaraming kaso, yung po yung alin dito ang cognizable by the Sandigan Bayan at alin dito ang cognizable by the Regional Trial Court. So, kung ito po ay katulad nung sinasabi ng ating respondent na this is ay politika lamang, hindi po. Ito po ay makikita ninyo na kung politika lamang, eh bakit natin hindi natin dinimanda si Mr. Baraan, isang Yusek, na alam niyang kasama-sama. Pero kulang po sa ebidensya, kaya ang ginawa po ng ating 5-man panel sa National Prosecution Service ay dinismiss ang kaso. Ganun po, marami po, doon sa binasa ko. Mababasa po ninyo ito na napakaraming na-dismiss at 3 lamang ang na-file sa Regional Trial Court. Kaya po ito po ay hindi politika. Hindi po ito produkto ng politika. Ito po ay produkto ng trading sa droga.
Sir, para lang ho sa kabatiran ng mga hindi maalam sa legal, pati yung mga nakikinig ho, pagka ho ba na-iraffle ang kaso halimbawa on Monday, pwede ho bang magpalabas agad-agad ng arrest warrant ang korte against doon sa respondents?
Salamat, Johnson. Pwede. Kung malinaw na malinaw doon sa ating hukom na talagang malinaw ang probable cause. In other words, yung malinaw sa kanya na talagang maaring nagkasala talaga itong taong ito, kaya pag yun lamang po ang judicial probable cause na hinihingi natin. Hindi sa unang determination ng probable cause by the prosecution, yung National Prosecution Service po natin. Ito nga, meron silang na-determine na probable cause sa 3 kaso against Laila de Lima and company. After the determination by the Prosecution Service ng probable cause, magkakaroon po ng isang determination ng probable cause. Yun ang determination na gagawin ng ating hukom, ng ating judge. At kinakailangang masatisfy ang ating judge na talagang may probable cause o maaari talagang nagkasala itong mga kadimandang ito bago po mag-issue ng warrant of arrest. Kaya po sa katanungan ninyo na kung Monday ay pwede na mag-issue ng probable cause ng warrant of arrest ng ating judge ay kung sa kanya pong pag-a-assess ay meron na pong probable cause, maaari siya mag-issue beginning Monday. Yung po, magrarapol po ata ng ang Muntinlupa sa hapon po yata ang rapol ng mga kaso sa kanila.
Secretary, NBI din ho bang aaresto kayo kay Senator Laila kung sakasakali?
Pakikuan ko, hindi ko nakuha.
NBI agent din ho ba kaya magsiserve ng warrant of arrest kay Senator Laila de Lima kung sakasakali may lumabas ng warrant of arrest?
Pwede pong hindi NBI kasi pag nag-issue ang isang hukom o judge ng warrant of arrest, ito po ay naka-address sa lahat ng police agencies. Naka-address po yan sa CIDG, naka-address yan sa PNP, kaya any of them, naka-address sa NBI, any of them could arrest.
Sir, Lawrence.
Could implement the warrant of arrest.
Sir Lawrence Coradio ng Bayan. Sir, sabi niyo po, hinimay mabuti itong kaso na to. Sir, gaano po kabigat or gaano po tayo kasigurado na mahahatulan si Senator De Lima sa kaso na to, sir? Sa tatlong kaso na to.
Well, hindi po naman to file ng National Prosecution Service kung hindi mayroong probability na ito'y na siya ay mahatulan. Actually, naniniwala po tayo na siya ay mahatulan kasi nasa prosecution po tayo. Ito po ay, sasabihin ko sa inyo, ito po ay produkto ng National Prosecution Service. Ang head nila, yung Prosecutor General. Ako po ay hindi nakialam dito. At kung mayroon man po akong pakikialam sabi ko, minimidya ko lang na sana bilis-bilisan ang aking mga prosecutors ang pag-resolve. Pero talagang pinagbuti po nila ito. Hindi po nila ito minadali. At hindi po totoo yung in-expedite ko raw para siya ay maaresto. Hindi po. Kasi kung yun lamang po ang tinitingnan ko, dapat pinapile ko na kagad ito. Sinabi ko, i-file na niyo yan. At ako'y durog na sa social media. Kung ano nang nangyari. Kaya po, ito po talagang pinag-aralang mabuti. Wala pong irregularities dito nangyari. Ito po ay masasabi kong hindi ako nakialam dito. Unang-una, ako'y nag-inhibit na. Sapagkat ako'y pinag-inhibit niya, kaya ako po hindi nakialam dito.
Secretary, good afternoon. May posibilidad ba na magpalabas ng lookout bulletin order ang DOJ? Lookout bulletin.
Meron na po tayong lookout bulletin, kaya yun ay standing pa rin. Ngayon, kung halimbawa po magkaroon ng warrant of arrest, then we will ask the court to issue the whole departure order. Siya naman po ang nagpauso niyang lookout bulletin na yan. At nung pong kahapon sa Senado, sinabi niya na nag-apply siya sa akin, gusto niya mag-travel abroad, but more than 1 month ago, humingi siya sa akin ng allow departure order, ADO, binigyan ko siya. Maraming nagsasabi, kinagalitan ako ng mga tao noon, social media, bakit hindi mo niya ginawa? Yung ginawa ni Secretary De Lima kay President PGMA. Pinigilan niya hanggang maka-issue, magkaroon ng warrant of arrest laban kay President PGMA kahit hindi na nakalis yung tao. Ito namang si Wally Sumbero, lahat nag-aakusa sa akin nang hindi naman nilalaman yung pinagsasabi o kaya naman talagang binabaliktad nilang pangyari. Pinayagan ko raw si Sumbero na makalis. Kaya nga hindi ako nag-i-issue ng allow departure order. Ayaw ko siyang umalis. Tapos itong mga mainstream media, alam na ninyo kung sino nagsasabi niyan, pinayagan ko raw. Walang malayo po sa katotohanan yan.
Sir, balikan ko lang yung decision of the panel to drop the inmates as complaints, sir, and make them as prosecution witnesses. Were you consulted with this decision?
I told you, wala akong pinakialaman dito. Kahit consultation, sila yan. Tanungin mo yung mga, any of the 5-man panels, makikita mo. Hindi pala 5-man panel yun. 1-man panel plus 4-woman panel. Kaya 5 rin sila.
Sir, can you just run down yung mga co-accused po ni Senator De Lima? you've mentioned earlier, sir, yung mga respondent na acquitted, yung mga respondents sir na co-accused.
Dito po sa unang-una, ito po yung criminal case number 17165. Okay. Ito po yung unang-una. Yung pong, tanda naman ninyo ito, ang title po nito ay People of the Philippines versus Laila M. De Lima, Rafael Ragos, Ronnie Palisok Dayan, criminal case number 17165 na nangyari noong October 14. Nangyari noong November 2012 to March 2013. Ito po yung pag-deliver ng tigli 5 milyon ni NBI officers Rafael Marcos Ragos and I think the other one is Ablen. Ang pangalawa po ay nangyari noong itong illegal drugs trading na akusasyon noong March 3, 2013 to May 2015 in the city of Muntinlupa. At ang mga nakusado po dito sa kaso ito ay the people of the Philippines versus Laila M. De Lima, Franklin Jesus Bucayo, Wilfredo Eli, also known as Wilfredo Eli, JB Nino Manicad Sebastian, Ronnie Palisok Dayan, Jonel Tan Sanchez, and Jose Adrian Chamson Dera, also known as Jad De Vera and Jad. At ang pangatlo po ay may title na The People of the Philippines versus Laila M. De Lima and Jose Adrian Dera, also known as Jad De Vera and Jad. Criminal case number 17166 that happened sometime in March 2016 or on dates prior or subsequent thereto in the city of Muntinlupa. So, yan pong tatlong information yan ay kinuha doon sa apat na criminal complaints na pinal sa NBI ng BACC ni Director Lasala and Esmeralda, JB Sebastian, and by the NBI.
Sir, tanong lang,
Sir, dun sa mga inmates po na gagawin na pong prosecution witness, sino-sino po sila, and ano po yung nakitang may contribute nila to the case?
Sorry, hindi ko pa nababasa yung kwan eh. Yung, totoo lang, hindi ko pa nababasa ang resolution, but binasa ko na kanina eh, di ba? Ito yung, ulitin ko, ito yung mga gagamiting mga inmates bilang testigo or state witnesses. Ito po yung mga high-profile inmates natin. Herbert Colanco, Gilberto Acenas Durano, Vicente C., Jojo Baligad, E. Bondal, and Wu Tuan Yuan, also known as Peter Ko.
Sir, with regards po dun sa alleged illegal drug trade involving Kerwin Espinosa, may recommendation po kayo na investigahan po ng NBI? Will it mean, sir, na mag-undergo po ulit ng preliminary investigation if it will be warranted, sir?
Opo, gawa ng dito sa final ng NBI with respect to Kerwin Espinosa, nakita po ng 5-man panel na walang sapat na katibayan para idemanda si Laila de Lima, si Ronnie Dayan, at saka si Kerwin Espinosa. Ito po ang isa sa pinakamaliwanag na wala talagang kinikilingan ang ating 5-man panel. Actually, nang malaman ko ito, hindi ko pa nababasa. Sa ECPC Quibat, yan ang isa sa pinakamaliwanag yan, di ba? Nagbigayan ng dito sa MOA, sa Baguio, tapos wala silang makitang kaso. Hindi ba, matatanda ninyo na sabi ni Kerwin, ay siya raw ay tinawagan ni Dayan at kinakailangan ni then Secretary de Lima ng funds for election. Nagbigay po sa MOA at nagbigay na naman sa Baguio. Ito po ay admitted ni Dayan at saka ni Kerwin Espinosa. We could not expect Secretary de Lima to admit this. But even Dayan admitted na siya ang kumuha ng pera. Pinigay kay de Lima, tapos walang kaso. Pag-aaralan po natin yan at kaya may directive ang 5-man panel to the NBI to dig deeper or into this case.
Sir, may paliwanag ho ba ang DOJ?
Yung one of the copying machine. Kaya't lalong na bumagal. Actually, ang akala kong target date dito ay Monday o Tuesday this week. Pero sa haba po, yun nga pong sabi nung 4 na babae, members of the 5-man panel. Kami nga po ay nakapaan ng lahat eh. Nagalis na sila ng sapatos, pero talagang isa yan sa pinakamabagal. Yung pag-xerox, tapos nag-breakdown pa yung isang mimeographing machine, kaya yun ang naging katagalan. Hindi po natin pinatagal ito for the sake of delaying it. Hindi po.
Baka naman napabilis sa Secretary kasi nakalusot kayo sa Commission on Appointment sa Senado. Congrats, ha?
Siguro kung yun ay na-release agad, siguro wala masyadong tanong sa akin. Naka-approve ka agad.
Sir, pending, sir, the warrant of arrest and the whole departure order, yung lookout bulletin order that you have issued against Senator De Lima and yung other respondents, sir, that will, that will remain in effect.
Warrant of arrest, wala pa po, di ba?
Apo, pending the warrant of arrest, sir. Yung LBO, sir, will it remain in effect?
It will remain in effect until it's overtaken or substituted by a whole departure order.
Sir, how about po yung mga respondent na acquitted by the DOJ na included po dun sa lookout bulletin order?
Yung ibang respondent
Yeah,
na...
just like Undersecretary
Ay,
Francisco
tuloy-tuloy
Baraan.
pa rin po siguro yun sapagkat yun naman pong iba ay hindi naman talaga na-acquit. Maaaring sila'y kasama doon sa possible cases that we are going, that the DOJ will forward to the Ombudsman. Kaya po't yung Ombudsman na ang bahala naman mag-study nun kung maghimay-himay nun kung ano mga file ng kaso. So, kung makakahingi, so in the meantime, baka hindi po natin galawin muna yon sapagkat hindi natin manlaman kung anong aksyon ang gagawin ng Ombudsman. Okay, salamat.